Hi everyone, it's Terry from T&D Travel Partners, and tonight is YUATA, Why Use a Travel Agent, Part 2. And I would like to invite you to share this with your friends or invite them to join us tonight. That would be awesome if you would do that, but if not, share it afterwards. We would really appreciate it. So we're going to talk tonight about the time that it takes for a travel agent to put everything together for you, all right? So the definition of a travel agent is someone who sells transportation, lodging, admission to entertainment activities, and plans group trips, all right? They offer advice on destinations, they plan a trip itinerary, and they make all the travel arrangements for their clients. Sounds kind of easy, right? But how does your travel advisor know which transportation, lodging, destination, itinerary, and so on is best for you? It comes from literally hundreds of hours of research and training. So let's start with the training. Basic travel business training. That's all the things you need to know how to run a small business. Licensing, marketing, the legalities, because every state in the United States is different. Ethics, bookkeeping, taxes, all of those things we have to learn just as the foundation of our business, aside from anything that has to do with travel. The travel industry, however, is very unique in many ways compared to other businesses. We have to have specific licensing and specific insurance, and all of those have requirements prior to you being able to qualify for those licenses. We also have a lot of challenges in the new travel business, so we have to learn all those to start out. But then we have to maintain knowledge and time with each one of these things throughout the whole time with our whole time of our business. Like our licensing has to be renewed every year, and there's certain requirements that you have to do to renew it. So just the basics of that take a lot of time. Now, on top of that, every travel supplier has their own unique training that only applies to the product they sell. And we need to learn how to operate each one of those operating systems. So we have a travel agent portal on every one of those suppliers, okay? And that means that each one of those systems is different, and we need to learn how to negotiate ourselves or navigate ourselves around that portal. We need to learn their booking codes, their lingo. If it's ships, we need to know their ships, all the different ships, the classes of the ships, which port those ships go out of, which itineraries they have for that ship. We need to know what services they offer. We need to know how to book the travel, then how to modify it, and how to invoice for it. And like I said, even for a cruise, each cruise line is totally unique. Each travel supplier is totally unique. So it's important for us to know how it all works. It's also very important for us to develop a relationship with our business development managers. Each travel supplier has a BDM, and it's up to us to reach out and get to know them and to work with them so that if we have a problem or if we're hung up on something that we don't understand that's unique to their particular product, we can go to them and they can help. They really are a blessing to us, and getting to know them and having a good relationship with them is super critical in this business. They also let us know if there's new promotions coming or specials, and sometimes they can give our clients special perks on our behalf. So that's part of just the basics of the training that we have to have in order to be in the travel industry. Now let's talk about researching your dream vacation. You may have an idea of where you want to go, but again, each supplier is totally unique with their type of travel. So it's important for us to have a good working knowledge of each of the cruise lines if you're booking cruises. There are hotels and air package suppliers, tour companies, and so much more. And we need to know all about every one of them, what makes them stand out from the rest. Sometimes which ones we just don't want to work with because we know from past experience that there's a problem, and which ones will be the best in customer services. We need to know which one is going to match up with our client best, because we don't do cookie cutter vacations. We want to make sure that your vacation is unique to you. So then we need to learn with that supplier how to put together an itinerary using their system and making sure that it works for you. Now, once we narrow down the suppliers, and that takes a long time, just to pick out one, say you want to go to Italy, all right? There are lots and lots of suppliers that do Italy. So we have to know which ones will provide what you need, which ones will meet your interests, which ones have the best customer service, that type of thing. So it takes a while to narrow down the supplier. But once we do that, then we have to check and see, do they have any promotions or specials coming up that will be available at the time you're traveling. Every supplier has promotions and specials. Cruise lines, hotels, tour companies, air, everything. Every one of them have promotions and specials. And we have to stay on top of that. So every day I'm going through hundreds of emails and taking out the ones that would apply to any of my clients and tossing the rest. There are literally hundreds. Sometimes if we book a cruise all right, what if we book a cruise and sometime between the time, hey Linda, sometime between the time we book the cruise and the client travels, there is a new promotion or a special that comes up that maybe that client would qualify for. So let's say you've booked a cruise and you're going next February, and sometime between now and February, your cruise line suddenly runs a special that your booking code would qualify for. Well, you wouldn't know that, all right? Or if you were stayed on top of it every single day, but we know about it because we immediately get an email that's happening, okay? So, sorry, I had to get rid of a message. Okay. So we would know because we get the email, and our BDMs will notify us immediately. Well, then we have to know how to renegotiate and modify your booking so that you don't pay any penalties or have any problems, so that you can take advantage of that new special. So that takes a lot of time too, because we're working with a lot of different suppliers. So it's like, okay, I know that this people have Carnival cruises, these have Royal Caribbean cruises, these people have a tour guide in Europe, this one's got something in Hawaii. I need to know which one of those suppliers has a sale and how it will help my client. So that's something that we do too. And like I said, there could be things like the price would be reduced. There might be onboard credit for a cruise. Sometimes there's extra casino chips for our people that like the casinos. Sometimes there's reduced excursions. There's all type of different promotions and specials, and we want to make sure that we're able to offer those to our clients, but that means we got to know about them. So that's time that we spend doing that too. So it's basically up to us, the travel advisors, to be able to compare the latest promotions against our pending bookings, and if there's something we can grab for a client, we need to be able to modify that booking to benefit the client. Now, that's just a small example of some of the tasks that go into putting together a quote. Sometimes we can put your quote together in an hour, okay? Some of the packages that I'm working on now, like a European adventure or whatever, can take 10 to 12 hours or more, because I'm talking to numerous suppliers in Europe, and I want to make sure that all the things my client want, they provide, okay? You don't want to have a puzzle where one supplier is providing the hotel, and one is providing the transportation, and one's providing the airfare, and somebody else is doing the transfers. You want it all in one cohesive package to make it easier for your client. So putting all those together can take a long time. It's important for people to know we don't get paid for that time, all right? We are not employees of the travel suppliers. We are our own business. We work in partnership with them, but they don't pay us for the time it takes to find them, learn all their idiosyncrasies, learn how to use their system, and then book. We only get paid by the travel supplier when a booking happens, and then after the travel. So if you book something now for 2021, we're not going to get paid until you finish your travel in 2021. So all that research time is unpaid time, okay? It's just kind of something to think about when you go to your travel advisor and say, hey, find me the cheapest cruise sometime in the next 2 years. And yes, I get that request all the time. It's important for you to go to your travel advisor and know where you want to go, when you want to go, and how long you want to go, and who's going with you, all right? Don't just put a blanket out there, send me to Israel for 2 weeks, and I don't care when I go. When's it cheapest? That takes a lot extra time. So the bottom line is that your travel advisor puts hours into creating your dream vacation. Now let me ask you a question. Do you have that kind of time? Do you want to sit down at your computer and spend hours and hours and hours researching? And unfortunately, you won't even know the suppliers that for a lot of things. If you were planning something like an elaborate trip to Europe, would you know about the different tour companies? Would you know what kind of services they provide? Would you be able to negotiate the prices on your own? So even if you did, let's assume you did, it's still hours and hours of time. People take vacations to get away from the rut of everyday living. They want to be able to relax and put everything behind them. If you're spending 12, 15, 24 hours doing the research, then that's adding extra stress. And why not just use a travel agent? We know how to do it. We know how to do it really well. So why not use those services? Another thing is that questions can pop up from the time prior to booking and then all through the booking. Would you know how to handle things like that? Would you remember, I have to have a transfer from airport A to the hotel and then from hotel to airport or whatever. There's all those little parts of the puzzle, and a lot of people wouldn't know it. I know I would never have thought of a lot of those things prior to becoming an agent. Would you be able to find a tour company in Israel, compare the benefits, their pricing, and check their reviews for customer service? Probably not. And unfortunately, if you book on yourself, especially using the online booking systems, if there's a problem, you're on your own. You literally are on your own. There's nothing that anyone can do. I certainly can't come in. I have had this happen so many times when people have thought, I'll just book it with online, or I'll just book it myself. And then there's a problem, and then they call me, and I legally cannot help them, and I have to tell them, I'm sorry, I am not the travel agent of record. You are, because you booked it. And because of that, legally, I cannot step in any way, shape, or form. And it makes me feel bad, but I can't help it. I can't do anything about it. So any of those problems that come up, you would not have anyone in your corner helping you weed out all the issues. This kind of knowledge and commitment to bringing the best possible vacation itinerary to every client is just one more reason why you should always use a travel advisor. So we're going to open this up to questions. If you've got any questions that you'd like to ask about travel or about the business, I would love to hear them. Hi, Chrissy. Thank you for joining us. Please don't forget to share this with your friends. I'm going to try to do this every night at 7 o'clock. Knock, knock, knock. With everything going on, sometimes it doesn't work that way. But I'm going to try that so you can tell your friends. And I'm going to finish talking about all the reasons you want to use a travel agent, because there's lots of them. And then I'll go on to other topics. If you have something that you'd like me to include on my daily vlog, just drop me a note and let me know, okay? Because I'd be glad to do it. Anyone got any questions for me? Anything that's burning desires? Linda, are we going to get you to go with us on Mardi Gras? I would love to see you join us on that cruise. It's going to be awesome. So, okay then. Since we don't have any questions, I'm going to let everybody go. And I will see you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Don't forget to check out our website. It's tdtravelpartners, plural.com. And that has all of our group specials. It tells you what things we specialize in, because every travel agent should specialize in certain areas, because, as I said, there's such a wide variety of the types of travel. So we specialize in cruises, group vacation plans, accessible travel, high adventure, river cruises, and faith-based travel. Okay, so those are the things we specialize in. However, we can book any type of travel. We just got asked to do a large family going to a working ranch in Wyoming. So we are looking, that's something I would not have ever known about. So that we're looking through all the different possibilities in Wyoming, located where they want to be, and they have a long list of things that they want to do during the 2 weeks that they're there. So we're putting all that together for them. So that's the type of things that we do that just takes time, but it's kind of fun. And you know what happens? Every time somebody does something like that, it goes on my bucket list. Oh, that sounds good. I want to do that. So my bucket list is forever growing. So with that, I'm going to say goodnight. I'll see you back here tomorrow night at 7. If in between you think of any questions, just jot them down in the comment section, and I will include them tomorrow night. Until then, bon voyage, and thank you for joining us.